Hi, my name is Megan and I'm a zookeeper here at Brook Zoo. This week we're featuring our silver foxes Ginger and Midnight on our virtual field trip. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the New Brunswick government has mandated that we close our doors to the public. However, we are still here every day taking care of the animals. What does that mean? We want to bring the zoo to you, and all we ask is $1 or $2. So check the video description to see easy ways that you can help donate today. Oh! And if anybody's seen a monkey around, there is still a monkey on the loose. Please let us know in the comments below where you saw him and how many times you saw him. So we have two foxes here at Brook Zoo, Ginger and Midnight. They are sisters, they're from the same litter, and they are the same type of fox. So a lot of people will notice that they look a lot different. So Ginger is what you would expect of a typical red fox. So she's got a beautiful red coat. Right now you can see their winter coats, but in the summer they have really sleek, shiny, short coats. So hers is a beautiful red, and Midnight is the reason that there's a distinction between red foxes and silver foxes. So silver foxes are specifically bred to have nice coats, so they're usually bred for the fur trade. They are all red foxes. They're just called silver foxes because of the different type of coat that they have. So Midnight's is a beautiful black, and she's got some really pretty gray stripes and white on the tip of her tail. So she's a very beautiful fox, but she is from the same litter. So it'd be the same idea as whatever type of genes, say, a lab has. So a yellow lab could have chocolate lab puppies, could have black lab puppies, depending on the genetics of both parents. So it really just depends on what their genes are, but they can be any variation of colors, with the most common being the color that Ginger is. You see a lot in the wild, a lot of different red foxes with different colors. You can see the second most common is actually that black color. There are also really light gray foxes and all kinds of different shade variations between them and red foxes. So that great big tail is called a brush, and even in the summer when their coats thin out and they get really sleek and shiny, that tail stays really big around. So the tail itself is only really about the size of a quarter around. The rest of it is just really bushy fur, and that's the reason that it's called a brush, because it looks like a giant paintbrush. So they use that tail for a lot of different things. It's used for balance. You can see them running around in their outside exhibit up on those walkways and stuff like that. They use their tail to help them balance a little bit. They also use it to protect them in the cold. So these girls always have access to their inside and outside exhibit in the winter. The inside is nice and warm for them, and the outside has shelter. However, they often choose to stay outside because their coats are so thick and dense, and that tail is so warm, it keeps them warm while they're outside as well. Even now in the rain, they're barely coming inside to visit. They really prefer to spend their time outside. So foxes are very skittish in nature. Not just in the wild, in captivity as well, especially females. They do have a little bit more of an anxiety level than you would see in the male foxes. So all foxes get a reputation for being sly, and it is partially because they are really fearful of humans, even though they come in very close contact with them, especially in rural areas. We're seeing a lot of people come in really close contact with foxes. However, their anxiety level is due to being a very low-level predator. So they're very small compared to the other predators that they compete against, like coyotes and stuff like that. Coyotes, bears, whatever they might run into out there. These guys have a pretty cool behavior for that. So in order to compensate for the fact that they're a teeny tiny predator, instead of always just catching small prey like mice and birds, which they really do love, they actually come into big predator kills and rip off as much as they possibly can of that meat, and they swallow a whole bunch of it. And this is a little bit gross, but then they'll leave and go back to a safe place and regurgitate it, so they can actually save it for later. But that allows them to come in and out of a dangerous situation and collect food really quickly, and then not put themselves at risk with a larger predator. So you can see this sign beside me here. So this is one of the ways that you can actually help not just our foxes, but all the animals in our zoo. So we're really thankful to have Casey's Custom Auto sponsor our fox habitat. So a sponsorship means a couple of things. It means money coming in to support these animals, and it also is a little bit of a partnership. So these guys get to come and see these foxes and know that they've done their part to help with the zoo and help with the upkeep of these foxes, and it is a promise of aid for these guys. So the money does always go directly to the animals. So really good way. If anybody's interested in doing a sponsorship program, you can contact us. Thank you for joining us on our virtual field trip. Be sure to tune in tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. Atlanta time for another adventure with Ginger and Midnight. Check the video description on tomorrow's video for the answers to today's question.